So here we go. We are starting the program. I welcome Professor Mahesh Tirumkodulu of the Chemical Engineering Department of IIT Bombay. So please come on stage.
So welcome to all of you to the IIT Bombay campus. I'm extremely happy to know about the FOSSEE Open Forum, the symposium or the workshop that we are having. First of all, I would really like to congratulate my colleague, Professor Kannan Maudgalya. I'm always amazed by the amount of work that goes on under FOSSEE and also the spoken tutorials. And he keeps telling me of the various activities. I've known about the other softwares, but today when he was discussing about his plans for Open Forum, I'm not surprised, but again, I'm amazed. The amount of energy, the amount of work that goes on under FOSSEE itself. So thank you very much, Kannan, for this wonderful, wonderful work that you're doing. I'd like to also welcome Dr. Chandan Bose here. He's an expert in Open Forum. Probably there's no better person to in fact run this or lead this workshop than Dr. Bose. He did his Master's and PhD at IIT Madras. Now he's a faculty at University of Birmingham. I'm very happy that he has taken his time to come here and be part of the FOSSEE Open Forum workshop here. And we hope to see him more often on campus. Hopefully that will come through. I also welcome our colleague, Professor Janani and Professor Samir Jadhav here. Both of them have been very active in the CFD community here. They have been active using Open Forum. So while we were discussing about CFD in general and specifically in chemical engineering, I was making a list of all my colleagues who work in CFD, and there's amazed at the number of people who work, my colleagues. So chemical engineering is about 42 core faculty, another 8 adjunct and visiting faculty. So we're close to 50. But out of them, I was seeing who all work in CFD. For example, Amol Subedar, a young assistant professor, works in lattice Boltzmann simulations, looks at multi-phase flows. Jason Picardo works in nonlinear fluid dynamics. He also does simulations, looks at polymer flows and turbulence. Partha Goswami works in particle-laden flows, again, particle-laden flows and turbulent flows. He does DEM, DNS, and CFD EM. Devang Khakkar, he works, very well known to all of us, works in granular flows. He uses CFD DEM. Rochish Thavkar, electrohydrodynamics, he has written his own BEM code, boundary element method codes. He also uses, I think, COMSOL sometimes. So his students would also benefit from Open Forum. Ratul Das Gupta, interfacial flows and stability. He uses JERIS, again another open source code, does CFD of course. Samir Jadhav works in the area of microfluidics. I know that he has been using COMSOL, he's used COMSOL in the past, but maybe now he's started to work in Open Forum. Professor Sunthar works in colloidal systems. He does, I recall that he was involved with a company who were using CFD to predict flows in arteries, looking at heart problems and so on and so forth. Professor Sayantan Datta, who has joined us very recently, does multiphysics modeling. You met him this morning. He does CFD. He looks at problems again in biology, looking at cell deformation in flows and so on and so forth. My own work also involves fluid dynamics. I work in the area of atomization, looking at stability of thin liquid sheets, breakup, and also coatings. Again, these are areas which involve CFD. I tend to write my own small codes. I use Julia, again an open source code. So there is a very large community just in chemical engineering. Of course, in mechanical engineering, there is a very huge community. In aerospace, there is a huge community. So I only see this as a beginning where IIT Bombay, especially through the FOSSEE project, will become a driving force for spreading Open Forum, not just in the institute, but across the country. So with that, I congratulate all of you and really look forward to many big things coming out of this collaboration. Thank you.
Good morning. So we also have our team members from Spoken Tutorial. I welcome them as well. So welcome again to everybody. Really delighted that you could come. And I also welcome the online participants. They are from different parts of the country. And we have some expert talks as well remotely. To give a brief background of some of the work we do, we have two projects. One is Spoken Tutorial, through which we train a large number of people across the country. We train something like 8 lakh students a year. Okay. So in that sense, open form spoken tutorials are used to train students who are interested in CFD to learn open form. And we have always been wanting to train them, showcase them, and offer them to the industry or to the research community. Not just IIT students, in fact, mostly students from outside IIT Bombay, outside the IIT system. So that is Spoken Tutorial, provide basic training. Then FOSSEE comes over and then it takes in specific areas. For example, it could be open form for computational fluid dynamics. It could be Scilab, which is an alternative to MATLAB. It could be Python, which is a very popular software. We promote Open Modelica, DWSim, which are amazing flow sheeting software, DWSim, used in chemical industry. We have R as an alternative to SPSS. So we have various software that we promote. We promote also hardware, Arduino, for example, OpenPLC. Some of these things are very important for college, for example, also useful in industry. And our objective always has been, can we, like I said about open form, showcase the contributors from various colleges, train them to the level of, because you can say that NPTEL, for example, is something that is created by IIT faculty and given to students. Whereas in FOSSEE, what we try to do is, we try to train the students to the level of contributors, that they can contribute. Not just here, staff members, but students across the country. So for example, we have something called Scilab Textbook Companion, in which 1,000 students across the country have contributed Scilab code for 1 lakh solved examples from some 630 textbooks, standard textbooks in science and engineering, for example. So that means they are known by people all over the world. This software DWSim, for example, which is an amazing alternative to Aspen Plus, which we use extensively in IIT Bombay. We have 270 flow sheets developed by students across the country. Okay, in fact, a friend of mine who was a president in L&T said that they could use it because oftentimes they go to industry to bid for projects and they have to do some initial computing, and they don't want to invest because they may not even get the offer, the contract. So they said that the DWSim flow sheets created by students across the country will be useful. Another interesting thing is the DWSim developer, who is a Brazilian, he embedded a link to FOSSEE on their software, which means million users who use DWSim see a tab called FOSSEE. They click it, they get all the 270 flow sheets. There somebody from SVNIT Surat, for example, they had contributed, so it's available. Somebody who has contributed from Ecuador, for example, their flow sheet is available with a URL. That means it's showcasing their talent. And some of our students have used this for higher studies. There was a student in Trichy who applied for, I think, NIT or Sastra, one of those. He applied to Rutgers for TA-ship. And they asked him, how do I know that you know programming? So he sent this link to Scilab Textbook Companion, and he got the offer. Okay. There was a student who got an internship in Japan. In fact, one of Janani's students got a job in one of the multinationals. So that way we have a large number of cases. In fact, I forgot to mention eSIM, which is an electronic circuit design software. In fact, Sumanta is a proponent of it, and it was developed at IIT Bombay by piecing together KiCad and NGSpice, okay, with our own various other additional features. We are in the process of developing a GUI for OpenFOAM, and that will make it easier to access. That's one of the complaints that people have, that we have to write a script. It's not, click and play, something like that. There is definitely a benefit in doing it because you understand what is happening. But on the other hand, it makes it easier for some people. So there are a lot of other projects happening. We are developing a front-end Simulink-like environment for XCOS-like thing for Scilab. Maybe that can be extended to Octave, Python, Julia, and things like that. These are all, some of them are in research topics. In the OpenFOAM area, CFD area, what will be nice is we have a project called research migration. If we can get every PhD student who works in this area in the country to contribute one research migration, and we have an annual meeting of them coming and presenting what they have done, that will be a fantastic thing. That's where the industry people can also come and meet them and say, and meet their potential recruits, for example. That will be a fantastic thing that we can do. We are here in this particular thing because we are inviting people, stalwarts from industry and academia to be a part of this endeavor. That we have, at least 1,000, maybe 2,000 mechanical engineering colleges in the country. We probably have about, I believe, 350 departments that teach chemical engineering. We have a large, aerospace, of course. Together, it may be about 2,500 colleges wherein students are studying undergraduate education. So, can we empower them? Can we motivate at least one of them every year? That will be 2,500 people, right? Offer them to our industry, and some of them will go overseas. That's also welcome. They are our ambassadors. So, in this dream, to help aid this dream, we are forming this advisory committee. So, I want to thank all of you for joining us in this, and there are some exciting things, exciting talks planned. People are going to talk from industry and also from ISRO and then defense and so on and so forth, and it is going to be very interesting. So I wish I hope that this will be a learning experience for all of us, and I look forward to it. And I wish this activity a great success. Thanks.